6 hours. The last 3, I've been alone. So I am super happy to see live bodies on the screen. You know what I mean? Yes. There's a lot of rhyming happening. So I am going to
I'm
just
dancing.
say,
I'm dancing.
he's dancing, it's the happy dance. Um, but you saw Colin Scotland earlier. We had a very quick 3-hour chat about all kinds of things entrepreneurial. It was exciting. We had many discussions. Gail, you were asleep, but we were actually talking about children's literature. Um, Sharing all kinds of entrepreneurial twists and turns. Was good fun. And now we have the lovely Gail Gillian, the brains behind the machine. Actually, at this point, not because Colin doesn't have brains, and I also believe myself to also have brains, but in another way, in a way that only a millennial can have the brain. Is
Laurie,
my theory.
Gail's in a different league, so this is
Yes,
wonderful. A sight to
yes,
behold, Gail. A sight to
yes. It's
behold.
like, what? What did you just do there? Like,
Yeah,
so
how did you do that? How did you do
yeah.
that?
So we are super stoked to have Gail here with us, and I'm going to give her the spotlight so she can introduce herself. I'm actually going to have you also, yeah, we'll introduce Gail and then we'll recap with Colin, and yeah, okay. The 6 hours is starting to show itself. So let's do a little rotation. Hit that button, Gail, and introduce yourself.
Okay. So I'm Gail, and I hate having this conversation. So I feel like that's probably every entrepreneur's like worst nightmare is to be like, so what do you do? And it's like, well, let me tell you all the things I do. But in this instance, I am co-hosting with these incredibly fabulous people, and I love pulling systems together and making things work and making things easy and doing technical writing. So that's been my a lot of my role, I feel like, in this little endeavor. Not little, our endeavor is rather large. um, so professionally, I do a lot of writing, ghostwriting, copywriting. I try to focus on the construction and real estate industries because that is where my first love in schooling is in. And I found that I'm very adept at working with engineers and being able to translate what the engineer wants to say or needs to say to another person in a way that the other person can actually understand. So that I've ended up being, I feel like I'm a translator to some degree. In a lot of ways. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And then in what's the word?
Bucket.
Another bucket, another part of my world is the legacy recorder, which is teaching people how to talk to the people they love to get their life stories written down, which I feel like is another way of translating. So a lot of intercommunication and helping people figure out how to talk to each other in a way that's meaningful and intentional. So that's Gail.
That's Gail.
That is Gail.
Gail is awesome.
Thank you. Let's see what else. There's 3 small humans, and my husband, and we live in a small town in rural Western Pennsylvania. And so I'm really excited to be talking about ecosystems, and tomorrow I'm really excited about that stuff and what I've done to create systems and ecosystems and a support network that allows me to do the work that I love, do the work I'm really good at, and still be here for my family and community and all that stuff.
That's wonderful. Yes. Mr. Colin Scotland.
Thank you. That's
Share.
beautiful, that, Gail, because that's really what drives us all, isn't it? Is that idea that we can use all of this wonderful, and I'm like a child in a sweet shop with all of this technology, but that we can use this technology to allow us the freedom to live the life that we want. That's critical, to be there for your family, for your children, for your loved ones, to have that freedom and that choice. That to me is the reason why I do part of the reason why I do what I do, because it allows you that freedom. Wonderful. So powerful when you shared that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And your technical wizardry is second to none. I'm astounded. I'm one of the people that people come to for tech advice. Wow, you are on a whole other plane, Gail. Honestly, amazing. So mine's super simple. I'm a marketing coach, and I have the great fortune of running my business like this in conversation with wonderful people all over the world looking to make a difference with what they do. And my mission is, as Seth Godin says, to help others become who they seek to become. Simple.
Nice. That's
There we
Colin
go.
Scotland.
It's me.
And I am Lori Webb, and I am in Spark.
Lori, stop. Whoa. Pause. Time out. You went, I am Lori Webb. Right? So I know you've done 6 hours today, but come on. Let's try that one again.
All right, see, getting some coaching here. Hi, I'm Lori Webb, and I am. Is that better?
That's better.
Take two. Take three. Hi, I'm Lori Webb, and today I would like to share with you a little bit about what I do. My name is Lori Webb, and my last name being Webb is really a lot of what I do, and that is much like a spider web. I connect things. I connect people, I connect ideas, I see patterns, I create patterns. And through my company, InSpark, is to inspire, to motivate, to inform, and to kick in the butt as necessary. And I do that in a variety of ways. My strongest point is being able to see the invisible and to make it happen. So that's through visions of my own, things that I'd like to do, creating things, envisioning ideas, and getting the right people on board to help make it happen, such as the Entrepreneur Hotline, and writing, speaking professionally, and doing a lot of creative variations, creating content with photography and with all kinds of elements that enhance my day, my life, and enhance the abilities for clients to also, like yourself, Colin, like realize themselves, and in other words, to be more of what they want to be, and to actually go beyond, in some cases, go beyond what they thought they could be, to be more of what I believed they could be.
Do you want a really shining example of that?
Oh, I would love an example of that. Do we have one?
We do have one. Imagine that. Story time. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Yes.
Once upon a time. There was this girl, and she lived in a basement.
Did she live there?
She lived there. That's what it felt like. She lived there. I know. We had to figure out. Wait, hold on.
I'm trying to get Gail. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's even like more of. For anyone watching this, we are working on all the little bells and whistles of StreamYard without actually kicking each other out.
Yes.
Except it's fun seeing people's reactions. So hold on.
Okay. All right. We're here. Yeah, but why am I big?
I don't know.
Oh, we know why.
Maybe. I don't want to remove.
Is it because I signed in first?
I don't know. No, we should be able to move them around. Oh,
yes.
StreamYard.
Ladies and gentlemen, story hour will begin in just a minute.
Whatever. It's fine. We're just gonna go.
All right, go ahead. No, Gail, you want to see? Okay, yes, you can see us.
Because I like the blab-esque. Like, this is important.
Yes.
Like, this is what I loved about this. The very first time I got 4 people on StreamYard, and we had a conversation. It was like, this is what I've been missing for 4 years, which is a wonderful lead-in to the part where Lori and I actually met each other. So once upon a time, Lori did the Big Blab or the 168 or other things, but it was a really massive endeavor of having 168 hours of live content that you could come in and like have conversations with people, and there were conversations happening starting on the hour, every hour for 168 hours. Now, Gail in 2015 was, pretty starved for conversations. And so there was this wonderful platform that at some point I found called Blab, and I stumbled upon this thing, and I found Big Blab, and then somewhere in there, Lori was doing I'm pretty sure it was a pitch your idea session, and people were invited to come on and talk about or pitch their idea to Lori, and they like you could have a quick conversation around it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but what it ended up being for me was the start of something that is still happening. And I got on and talked about wanting to volunteer and help the elderly and infirm in my area write letters. And to me, it didn't matter if we ever sent the letter. The important part was that someone heard their story, someone took a time to write it down, and the storyteller was able to have a conversation with someone they weren't related to that gave a crap because they were human and they were alive. And that part was really important to me. So when I got on, Lori, we talked a little bit, and we talked about my family and all these other things and my other commitments. And the line that I always tell people is that after I told her my idea, what I remember is that her looking at me and going, "Gail, do you really need another volunteer opportunity?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, probably not." And and Lori goes, "Well, let's see if we can, I really feel like there's something here. Let's see if we can't work something out that will that could be a business, that could be scalable, and let's explore this and see what we can do." And we took the next hour. I got the entire hour, and Lori and I worked for an entire hour and came up with a business plan. I had it on it was all on sticky notes, and I had the sticky notes for the next 3 years. They're now permanently in a book. So I have the sticky notes still. They're in a book. So, and much of what we came up with in that hour period, in the middle of the night, my time, it was 1 a.m, I think, my time, or something crazy.
It was,
and that's what I've been working off of this whole time. And so it's still going. You can go to thelegacyrecorder.com. You can, there's a book, you can buy it on Amazon or pretty much wherever.
A best-selling book.
What?
A best-selling book.
It is, yes, it is a best-selling book. I forgot to say that. And it was in Hallmark, which is awesome. So it was in Hallmark for a while. And yeah, so that
courses.
And there's courses, there's all sorts of crazy stuff. So so that's an example of, Lori saw something that that I couldn't see. I couldn't see what it could be. I knew that it was a really cool thing, and I knew that it was really important. I had the passion for it, but at that time in my life, I couldn't see how I could make it be something that would support my family. Now, in full transparency, as the entrepreneurship journey happens,
yes,
it still is not something that's supporting my family. However, I know that it will be, and I can see that now. It took probably 2, maybe 3 years before I could really see it, before it really felt like it would work. But I had faith and belief, and I just kept plugging away. So I think for me, that's what, I'm sure you guys spent some time defining what entrepreneurship was and all these different things, but I really think it's that belief that the thing that you've created and that thing you've come up with that it's that important that you just keep going no matter what happens. You just keep doing it.
Yes.
So
thank you, Gail. That was wonderful. Of course, I thought it was wonderful. But I think really why it's so wonderful is less to do with my ego and more to do with the purpose behind why the three of us sit here. And that is because it is why we are here, that there is a Gail out there wanting to sit with us 4 years later to be a part of a team. No, that there is someone out there who doesn't have easy access to a lot of entrepreneur events, who is in maybe a rural town or in a place where entrepreneurship isn't as heralded, or they don't necessarily have as much support, even in their community or in their home even. And to have this opportunity to listen to conversations, to hear about success stories, to hear about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, to get different perspectives, and to also realize that it's also we're all speakers in this forum here. And it's like that first time it dawns on you, you mean people will pay you for this? It's that people are like, this is a business for people. Like, you think, why would, you're just thinking, oh, people are just talking, right? And you think, you don't realize all the, like, once you start to do it, and then you realize there's a whole, there are agencies created, there are, there's marketing plans, there's, landing, like, later on landing pages. But I remember years and years ago, somebody told me they were a professional speaker. I was like, I can do that. I mean, well, I ended up doing it, but not for the reasons that I thought. But it was very interesting, I thought. And I get a lot of people who are surprised by the intricacies of that. Colin.
We're passing notes in class.
No pressure, no pressure. Right. That was like when you're in class, isn't it? And and the teacher says, "Colin." Remember
Colin,
that?
Colin, are you
and I'd be
playing
staring out the window watching the bird fly by or something, And I'm like 6. The answer's 6.
Yes. It's like, Gail, actually, Colin had it was perfect. We hadn't set it up or anything. He was ready for it, but we were talking about, of course, the entrepreneurial mind. Go ahead, show her what you got. Show her the example, the entrepreneurial mind. Where is it?
Oh, where is it? What was it? Where?
Come on, little kitty. Kitty. Yeah, kitty. Is it gone? There it is.
Oh, no, it's still here.
Yeah. So he pulls it up.
Oh my God. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So
we're just following it, aren't we, all the time? It's so hard not to be drawn by that ball. And whatever that ball is for you, it's the latest lifetime deal on AppSumo. It's the latest course that's going to answer all your prayers. It's the thing that's going to make life amazing for you. It's this ball. This ball is what you need, right? And everybody's looking. I guarantee you're looking at that ball now, going, "I want the ball. I want the ball. I want the ball."
How much, Colin? Right? How much for the ball, Colin? How much? What are the bonuses?
The bonuses. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But it is like that, isn't it? And I think probably 80% of the battle of this journey of entrepreneurship is retaining and keeping that focus on the thing that is driving you, the reason that you get up every day to do what you do, the goals that you're setting for you and for your family, and with this thing that you're creating, because you're creating at the end of the day. You're not just doing something just to put food on the table and money in the bank. Yes, they're nice to haves and must haves, right? But we do it to make a difference with what we do. Gail, I know you're legacy recorder. It's about capturing memories. It's about capturing legacy. It's about preserving life and holding on and cherishing life. That's richer, deeper, further than any amount of money in the bank will ever be. And so when you're true to who you are as a human being, all of the entrepreneurship stuff just kind of follows, right? And we're constantly fighting that. We're fighting the urge to chase that and go, oh, where is it? I want it. It's new. It's brand new. It's shiny. It's red. It's lovely, right? I want that. So that's our challenge. And what we were talking about earlier, Laurie and I, is that every single one of us, a work in progress. No matter how switched on, dialed in, tuned up, amazingly successful anybody looks, they are all fighting and working against the very same feelings and frustrations and remember, I get to talk to people from all over the world at all different scales of the entrepreneurial spectrum, from people that are still in the 9-to-5 and trying to escape to people doing 7 and 8 figures. And the frustrations, the emotions, and the sense of, man, I'm not good enough to do that. That's for other people. That's not for me. I can't do it. They're better than me. Whatever that feels and looks like doesn't change. Wherever you sit on that spectrum, it doesn't change. No matter what people look like, we're all the same. We're all the same. And that's the joy of this realization for me, is that, hey, you're not on your own. You're not alone. We all experience this same thing. And you know what? There are people that have been through the same pain as you that are ready to reach out and lift you up the mountain and take you along that journey with them. That's why we're doing this. That's why the 3 of us are here right now, is to give you that help, that hand to make your journey as an entrepreneur easier, better, smoother, so you can help more people.
It's like
That's
virtual.
why we
I'm like, oh, Colin.
I know, it's like,
Oh, Gail. Oh, Colin. Oh, it's so
can we have
nice.
virtual hugs on this
Yeah,
StreamYard? Is
virtual
it that clever, Gail?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that. 6 hours of screen time. It's good for the good virtual hug. So, all right. Well, on that note, we will be moving on. Colin, you're taking the next segment.
Yep.
If I understand correctly, there was a little bit of a switch. So Colin's going to be on the next few hours, and then Gail's going to come on for the next
forever
more
and ever.
until she gets replaced by me.
Until the end of time.
Until the end of time. Yes.
The end of this time of this day, I think. And then you get to then I get to I'm so excited.
All right. We ready?
Day one. It's
Here we
so
go.
great. I mean, I'll be back later, but thanks so much. And if there's some notes and we're, people, I just want to give this PSA, and that is reminder. This is a pilot project and it is experimental, and we're doing, this is the team. This is the team. This is not the front end team. This is the whole team. So everything that's happening in the front end and the back is right here. And so I think you get my message. So when things aren't working exactly to plan, it takes a minute to kind of get it up because of the physical manpower that is involved in putting on a show like this with 3 people. Takes a lot, and we are here willing to do it and excited to do it. I see 3 comments over here. What's up? Is that us?
That's us.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're really excited you guys are watching, but recognize we're piloting and we're betaing and we're doing all of it. So we're excited to hear feedback, comments, suggestions. Recognize that it might not get implemented this week, but we're always up for hearing things for round 2.
Yes, we're excited.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy and peace. See you. Gotta go. How do I get out of here? Boom, boom, boom.